don't be afraid to reach out, man, because you never know who's going through the same thing to you. Your testimony, your story could be that one story that gives them that extra boost to push to be better. So don't be afraid to share your story.
T-Rex, what the hell, man? This is cool. Thanks for talking with us here on Knocking Doors Down.
Yes, sir. Pleasure is all mine.
Of course, Terrence McKinney, UFC lightweight, man. That record 7 seconds. That shit was badass. I remember watching that.
Did he retire after you just annihilated him? Did he quit after that?
Yeah, he won after that. A savage victory over a 10-0 guy, man.
So you pissed him off.
I did. He went out there and was ready to swing, man. He came out there correct, dropped the dude like 4 or 5 times in the first round.
Yeah, Matt Frivola. But that was a hell of a surprise and a hell of a debut. And of course, as a UFC fan, MMA, I do want to get into that a little bit later. But thank you for coming on here to share your story of drug addiction and substance abuse, man. I mean, it's crazy that your heart stopping 2 or 3 times was what turned your life around.
Yes, sir. Most definitely, man. And just seeing my brothers getting drugs and just the ricochet effects of all the things I do that I did that time that affected my family. So it really was a game changer for me.
Yeah. So I want to jump back and kind of know, I don't know much about kind of your upbringing and childhood. Was drugs pretty prevalent where you grew up? What was life like for you, family life and everything?
At the time I didn't realize it, but my family did the best they could, and I'm grateful for what they did, I had to live with my grandma going up till I was like 8 years old. So it hurt at the time, only getting to see my mom like one day at a time. And then she got to leave the next day. But she made the ultimate sacrifice because I was the firstborn and gave me straight to my grandma so she can help change her life around by joining the army. I got beat a lot growing up, man, but I needed it. Honestly, I was a little hyperactive kid, always doing too much,
I'm very pro that. You know what I mean? Like, there's parents who are like, no spanking. Let's talk through it. Some kids just need a smack.
They really do. Yeah, they really do, man.
I just think like that's.
I assure you, every time I didn't make the same mistake after. I promise that. That I always got whooped consistently. It was always something new with me. I always figured out a way.
So you're living with your grandma. And like you said, your mom was doing what she needed, but dad wasn't present at all?
Never.
Man.
And I think I smoked once when I was like 13, got in some huge trouble, was able to quit till I graduated. And then like once I got that freedom, I kind of took a lot of advantages of it,
Sure.
And there was a lot of hurt that I dealt with growing up, but God helped me heal from it, So I thought not being able to see my dad didn't hurt me, but what I had to realize, I had to face that problem that it did hurt me, and that was the only way to heal instead of denying it. Yeah. Just a lot of maturing that I had to do, things that I thought didn't hurt me. Like one time my grandma locked me in the basement for 24 hours, like just things like that, it's just cause like, and it's not cause she wanted to be evil. It's just what she experienced. Like I can't get mad at them because like my grandma was in like kind of the slavery time. So like they just grew up with intense like punishments for bad behavior, So She was only doing what she was taught. So I can never blame her, because that's what kids miss. They don't know the bigger picture. They don't know what their parents experienced growing up. Like what might not seem normal to me was normal to them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And reflection on how they got up. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I had to realize. And that's when I was able to heal and push through for the better.
Yeah. And there's a lot that people don't understand, especially, with the lineage you come from and so many that intergenerational trauma that, people don't think that shit happened 100 years ago can continue to roll over. And like your experience is an exact proof that does happen and it does carry forward. especially if we don't have emotional maturity around us and how it manifests. Because I know for me, that's when I really started loving popping them drinks.
Exactly, man.
What was there any good outlets? I know you did some wrestling, but you know, how did you kind of channel that? Because you didn't really start to have trouble till college, like real serious trouble. Am I correct?
Yeah, I never really got in no serious trouble in a lot, but I always was like fighting or get in trouble, and wrestling really saved my life in high school.
That's what I was going to ask you. We had talked to Chuck Liddell. I'm like, what were you like as a kid, being the person you are or who you were in the UFC, and then you, Terrance, in the UFC now? It's like, I just picture you guys just beating everybody up when you're kids. Like, that's what I just picture, because now you're getting paid to do it, so it's okay.
And let's just tell you, I was just an angry sucker because I was the runner of my group. There's 11 kids that lived in my grandma's house. So constantly I was getting my ass beat, or like I would have to share my clothes. So it was just really sucky, man.
Yeah.
Like a lot of irritating things, that I had to deal with. And I was sexually molested as a youth. So like there's a lot of things that I dealt with that like a lot of people don't know. But I know these stories like these is going to help people heal for the better, so they feel they're not alone. So, like, I think it is a blessing because now I get to help people all across the board, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, because like you just said, there's a lot of people who go through these things and kind of suffer in silence. Like with me, when I first, had anxiety, I thought I was having a heart attack. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I also didn't want to look like a little bitch, so I didn't tell anybody about it. But that's the whole point of what Jason and myself do, is we shed light to it and let people know that they're not alone. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a little bitch if you have anxiety. A lot of people have anxiety. We just talk about it. We shed light on it. So I appreciate you shedding light on that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So was it tough maybe for with the circumstances of your life? 11 kids in the house, man. Like, did you get bullied because of that too? Like, what was it like going to school then?
Yeah, I got bullied because, like I said, I was a little rough, man, and I'll try to fight anyone. Like, fear was just never a thing for me. I already fought my uncles. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I already took the L, and I kind of live by this motto. Like, they told me, they said, if you guys get in a fight, don't start it, but you better finish it.
Yeah.
And she said, if one of your family members fighting, you better help them out. Period. That's just how we rolled. They called them the Henry Gang out there in Linesville, Alabama, man. Like, we're like a little gang. Like, one of us fought, just know our whole family was jumping in if they're around.
So family's four, right? Always got each other's backs.
Yeah, but I took my share of L's, man, and then I ended up being a little bully in my mid stage of being a teenager.
What was it like growing up there in Alabama?
It was different. Like, sometimes when I make a mistake at school, I was in a time period where I got paddled at school, and then I had to go back home and get whooped again, man. So that, like, I started being a little angry little sucker,
Yeah. I'd be pissed if my teacher hit me.
Oh yeah,
I didn't go through that.
I had to get the paddle at school. They're paddling the high schoolers, but like, and when I tell people about that, they're like, "What? What the hell?" I was like, "Yeah, man. I was in the South, bro. It was still around for a second."
Where do they hit you? Like, my dad said he would get hit on the hands with the ruler. Is that
right
where
on the butt? I got paddled right on the butt.
Oh, you got on the butt? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man.
That's some messed up shit. It probably made it pretty tough then to trust any adult.
Well, because my grandma had signed it, so they could, but some parents wouldn't. They gave you the option.
Yeah, I don't know how, if I was an educator, I could do that to a child that was just like, get over here and just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I worked with kids before. I don't think it'd be a problem.
Yeah, I'll paddle kids.
I would smack the shit out of that one kid who kept fucking with me.
But how did that have an effect on you with trying to trust any adult? I'm going to assume you probably didn't want to go to any adult with any sort of issues and open up.
Yeah, at first, I was like, I always like to keep to myself, and like you said, I was trying to be that tough guy, like deal with it on my own, but that's not the way to heal. You gotta talk it out, find someone that you trust.
Absolutely.
The more you talk about it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. So what at what point then in college, what was like kind of the gateway drugs for you? I mean, I know you talked a little bit about high school age. Were you partying any in high school, drinking any other stuff, or was it just kind of
I did not turn up until I won my state title. My last one, my second state title. And I went to like one party and it was like the worst. The worst. I think I was like spitting on myself. I peed on some people. Puked.
I've definitely been there, man. Woke up and pissed a few times.
It was all bad, man. I think I spent like 18 to 20 loogies on myself. And then like I didn't turn up again until like I went to college, but I was doing like Molly, everything, like cocaine, cocoa puffs. I was end up smoking pills. I was doing the absolute most.
So you didn't have a particular favorite. You kind of just did it all.
I just tried it all, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm in college. So yeah, might as well. Yeah. You only live once.
Fuck it.
As a guy who went young, that's just the shit I was on, man.
Yeah.
I was like, it was either get some puss,
yeah,
do some drugs, or go train.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby.
Right? Self-destruct, rock and roll, man. Like, damn.
I guess for you, sex, drugs, and suplexes, huh? Well, I know for me as a guy that went to college for way too long, I should be a doctor. Like dealing with a lot of those insecurities of the trauma and not understanding that. Do you think that was kind of what it is, wanting to fit in? Like you said, you know, I mean,
exactly. I was wanting to fit in, and instead of finding acceptance in myself, I was looking for other places, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to realize, like, I'm chasing the wrong thing. I need to chase the love for my family. Be a leader for them, man. Because at the end of the day, I had to realize that these guys want to be like me. They want to be around me. And once I realized that, it helped me change a lot.
So what was, let's talk about the night of that changed your life, man. I mean, having watched your fights, the majority of them, I would have never have guessed heart stopping 2 to 3 times, man, in an OD. What can you kind of take us through that day, what that was like? And I mean, I'm gonna assume you were on a rager and just like let's do it all.
Yeah, I was drinking at a little kickback with the homies, and they had a little vial, and I was like, screw it, you know, took it. Then like 20 minutes later, I took like an eighth of shrooms, and then like I went to get some more weed, and then it started hitting me when I was around. I was like, all right, let's go back to the house. I was starting to trip, and things got crazy, man. Like like people just start looking creepy, like they're smiling, like what did he do? Plotting on me. So I go in the room, see what they're doing, and I was like, these people are talking about absolute nothing. You know, when you tripping, you're like, what are these people talking about? Why am I even hanging out with these guys? And I was like, I can't go home now. I'm already tripping. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go watch some TV. And I'm trying to change the channel, and it keeps changing to the same channel. And I'm like, what the hell, man? This is freaking weird. And then like some demons come out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh shoot. So I start praying, you know, and I start speaking a whole nother language.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, what the hell? And I'm like tripping bad now. And I was like, so I start praying in my head, because I was like, these demons can't control my thoughts. Like, that's a cool little trick, but you can't control my thought, what I'm thinking. So I started praying in my head. And then after a second, I was like, damn, they're still right here. And I was like, fuck it. I stood up. I was like, I'm not afraid of you guys. There's nothing you guys can do to me. And they shut my body down, bro. And I had to watch myself fall through a window in slow motion.
Oh, shit.
Holy heck.
Yeah. And once I hit that window, you guys know what happened after that. I start spazzing out. So I got knocked out, and I felt like all of reality melted in like a weird little circle. And then the trip just got crazier and crazier after that. And then I just woke up in the hospital the next day.
Jeez. Did they tell you how they brought you back? Was it like Narcan? Did they have to put adrenaline to the heart? Or, I mean,
I don't know. I was still kind of tripping, but I saw the cops there and I did some 007 stuff, some tuck and roll, some army crawls, snuck out the hospital and mobbed my way home. I didn't know what I did, but I assumed the cops were there for me. So, because my hands were all swollen, I was all bloody up. Like, oh shoot, what did I do? I thought I was dreaming, just sitting down, tripping the whole time. So
is that the last day? Did you ever used, or did you kind of continue a little bit, or is it like my life has got to change? Was that the, as they say, rock bottom? Come to Jesus moment?
it changed, but I still, I went to school again, I smoked, I drank, what college kid wasn't doing that, but I just knew I wasn't going to do any drugs like that again. I just kind of stopped experimenting at that, just stuck with the weed and the liquor. And then eventually I ended up quitting all of it once I started fighting.
Yeah. Was there ever any point of seeking any sort of treatment, counseling, or anything after that? Like, I know there's some underlying shit here I got to deal.
I went to counseling at Riverside and got the help that I needed.
What was that process like? I mean, like, I hear kind of your childhood story, because I kind of can relate to some extent, and not really trusting adults or knowing adults as these are the people that whip my ass pretty much.
Yeah.
Was it a hard process for you to sit there and open up and start to trust someone?
Yeah, I was kind of resentful for it because I was like, what kid is in college isn't trying drugs, man? I didn't really see myself as a person that needed help because like it wasn't like something I wasn't like addicted to. It was never hard for me to just be like, oh, I'm not gonna do any of this, But it was just dealing with the hurt and being able to finally open up, just realizing I'm not the only one. Once I start hearing all these stories, and I just finally stopped like taking it like as like a grain of salt and actually taking it serious, like hearing people out, taking these steps to heal and actually treating it like homework and trying to get it done. And it's probably the best decision I ever made.
Well, you mentioned hearing other stories. Did you do like group therapies and group meetings?
Yeah, I did. I had to humble myself and realize like this, I could be easily in a worse spot just like these people. Like we're all equal, and that's what I had to realize. And I just started coming, and I was able to become a better man from it. And I'm thankful to God for the whole experience.
That's incredible, man.
Did you find any mentorship in those groups of people that maybe you kept in touch with for a long time or still, or?
No, I got a great support team around me, and I just had to realize that. And now I just keep them close. I feel free to reach out whenever I'm struggling or whenever I need help.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, because we all need that, right? People that we can trust.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, with the treatment stuff, people just gotta humble themselves. Because I know it's hard when you just think they're better, and it makes you not really want to go or take it seriously. But we're obviously there for a reason, Yeah. If they didn't, I had to see it like this. Obviously, I got in trouble twice. Obviously, they're right. I actually do need help, and I had to put my pride aside and realize that.
Yeah.
And accept that they're not wrong. Denial is a huge thing.
Oh, denial's a son of a bitch, man.
You feel me?
I know. I was a guy that was always, I can have just one beer tonight, and then after the third trip to the convenience store,
like, shoot.
Waking up the next morning, it's like, I don't remember puking, but I guess I did, or whatever else. Like, shit.
Yeah,
that's the worst, man. You look on your bed and there's just vomit and piss everywhere. Like, how the fuck? Somebody robbed me and piss on me?
Yeah, what's the hell? Who did this?
Yeah. Well, just and all of the dangerous behavior, man. It's like when we're young and we're full of testosterone and we're like, I want to be alpha male, and of course we get whatever substance in us, and it's like, all right, man, well, we want to go out and bag a chick or whatever else it is, and you wake up in a fucking strange place, and that shit is like, now at my age, that's fucking scary to me, man.
Yeah, that's scary. I was like, yeah, for real.
It's like I rolled the dice a lot of dick roulette, I would call it, you know, and I lucked out, man.
You know, it's funny too. I'm glad I'm going to share a story. I haven't told anybody, let alone on the podcast. There was one time I was partying, right? Hardcore, woke up with the chick next to me in bed, right? And I pissed. I didn't realize it, but I did. She was covered in my piss as well. So you know what I did? You should have been like,
sorry, baby girl, I'm a squirter.
You know what I did? You know what I did to cover my tracks is there was beers around me, so I cracked open the beers and just poured it all over the place. So I mean, it looks a lot better thinking that I spilled beer all over the place rather than I pissed on her. When in naturality, that's what happened. So there you go. So you're the first one to hear that. So
I love that, man. You're a thinker, man. You was quick on your feet.
Yeah, I had to think quick.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. Well, Terrance, we know that you're pressed with time. You're probably at the gym getting ready to train, right?
Sir, that I am always, man. 3 times a day to 2 at least.
That's badass, man. And I was bummed because you had a was it fight in November? Someone in your corner had COVID, right? So that got delayed.
Yeah, man. This is just my homie. He ain't even trained at the gym. I was hurt.
Oh shit.
I still love him, you know.
Yeah. So I want to get into it because I always love to get into the mind of a fighter because I think it's so important for people to understand the mindset that you live with, because I think everyone should live with that fighter mentality. Can you take us through like a day, one of your days, what it's like?
So I wake up at 6 a.m. I'll go run, and then I'll do strength and conditioning at 11 a.m. and then I'll hit my MMA practice at 7 p.m.
What's in the day? Are you having to still carry some other sources of income, or are you making enough with the fighting right now that this is all you do?
This is all I do. I got a nice support system that just helps me cover my rent, and so I can just focus on training. There's just a couple bills I have to pay myself, just like my phone, which is not that much, in the internet and my food. So only like 500 a month. So everything's working out like it's supposed to. And like I said, I'm honored to be here today, and none of this is possible without God.
Did you grow up with a presence of faith, or was that something you found maybe afterwards?
I always believed in God, man, but I'm not saying like going to church and everything. I'm not like that superficial guy, but I feel like church is you guys, like we're the temple of God, you know. Everyone should develop their own relationship to God, you know, and that's just how I feel. My relationship with God is going to be different than someone else's, you know. I'm not that superficial guy saying go to church, but develop a relationship with God, your own, man. Just tell him how you're feeling, tell him what you want, you need, you know, and he'll provide, you know, as long as you put the work in, you know. I'm not saying it's just going to happen. Work must be put in, but
man, with that tight budget, what kind of diet do you maintain?
It just depends. I eat good every day, I'm not gonna lie, but if I'm cutting weight, just chicken, nuts, vegetables, 2 gallons a day right now, and fish. Just no pasta, no bread stuff. I'm when it's close, month out, I'm just really locked in.
You got to lean out for the lightweight class. That's what, around 150?
155, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you definitely got to stay focused and
yeah, because I'll miss weight if I don't start early.
I haven't weighed 150 since high school because I love bread and I love pasta.
Yeah, you got to cut that out, man.
I got to cut that shit out real quick.
Man, I'm 6'3", Terrance, and under way too much stress lately. I went to the doctor this morning. Hey, thanks for working with us on the schedule too, by the way. I had to get this appointment in and watch my health stuff. Man, they told me I'm low for testosterone for my age. I'm like, shit, no wonder I'm always depressed, you know. So let's talk about the UFC debut, because it was stellar against Frivola. 7 seconds, man, that record, you know. Took him down, ground and pound. It's done. What was your mindset for this huge opportunity going into the UFC before you actually got in the octagon?
It was a no-brainer for me. This is what I've been training for. So as soon as I got the call, I didn't care who it was. I would have signed the dotted line, you know. Sure. I was already training, just 7 days before. I know for Rose's games to come, and I was ready to die for my dream. And I know God was there. 7 days of creation and 7 seconds to knock this dude out. Couldn't ask for a better debut.
That couldn't have been a better. Absolutely. Well put.
Well, Terrance, we know you're pressed for time. We like to do a couple of rapid questions real quick and then leave you with the final thoughts, some words of inspiration for those listening. So fire it, Mikey.
I got one. So we release episodes on Monday. This episode, correct me if I'm wrong, will be released Monday after Super Bowl.
Yes.
Terrance, who's winning the Super Bowl?
I got the Bengals and winning by 3 points.
You got the Bengals by 3.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to go with Burrow, and I'm going to take the 3 points as well.
All right.
Jason, who you got?
All right, Terrance, man, you got a hell of a cool story that I hope gets written out or ends up on TV or the big screen. If you could pick someone to play you in a biopic, who would it be? What actor?
Shoot. Let me think. I'm gonna have to go Jamie Foxx because I feel like he's the closest guy to look like me that's famous. We got the same kind of build.
And he could nail anybody. He could do any he could do any performance. Jamie Foxx is fucking incredible. I'd want him to play me. He's fucking, he is an incredible actor. One more question for you too, Terrance. If you could have dinner with anybody in the entire world, living or not, or whoever existed, who would it be?
I would like to talk to Drake. I feel like, or Jay-Z. I feel like those guys got great business mindset.
Yeah.
And I would like to learn what it takes to stay making money while you're sitting down, and how to be a great entrepreneur, and how to make your money make money.
All right, Terrance. Well, we know you're pressed for time. You got to get in there and get training, man. And, hey, we're behind you for the next fight. Do we know when it is?
February 26th. It's going to be on the Benil versus Islam Makhachev card.
Very cool.
We'll be tuning in.
We'll be watching.
Yes,
and people, this is out not long before that. So we definitely appreciate you squeezing us in that crazy schedule and sharing these encouraging words for people. But if you could leave anything for anyone that's struggling with their mental health, substance abuse, addiction issues, especially for men that now we're really trying to break that stigma around it. Men, it's okay to open up. It's okay to be vulnerable. What would you share?
I would say, don't be afraid to reach out, man, because you never know who's going through the same thing to you. Your testimony, your story could be that one story that gives them that extra boost to push to be better. So don't be afraid to share your story. It could be something someone needs to live on and keep living, You never know, like one person can make a difference, like they say. So be that person.
T-Rex, Terrence McKinney, man, this has been a real pleasure, brother. And we appreciate your time, man. And again, hey, continued success, and let's get another W. All right.
We're rooting for you, bro.
Thank you guys. Love, brother, man. And I appreciate you guys for having me on your show.